Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Shawnee Emmett, and I serve on your board of directors. Welcome, everyone gathered here on site and those who are joining us online. Whether this is your first time or you joined years ago, we are happy that you are here. We're proudly a multi-generational congregation. All ages are welcome all the time. So if we hear sounds from our young ones or even our older ones, enjoy them as part of this growing and vital community. If you're a newcomer, the best way to get more information is to sign the virtual guest book or by signing the QR code or by visiting us in the welcome table in the fireside room. Online folks, please join the Zoom for coffee hour after the service. You'll get a link in the chat as the service comes to a close. And for those on site, we'll have more conversation after the service, but be sure to come next time before the full service, 9:30 to 10:30, to enjoy coffee and treats. So we have one announcement, and that is our second annual Drive for Joy event is coming this Saturday. We'll have a local band called Mango Soul. I hear that they're great. They'll be here 6:30 to 8:30, and we'll dance our hearts out and have a great time. We'll also be collecting hygiene products for neighbors in need and youth organizations in Ames. So throw a couple extra things in your cart and bring them on Saturday. There's also the box downstairs looking for things for the photo booth. So fun things to put on for that. It should be a great time. So thank you.
This morning, we are treated with a special musician for our gathering music and our offertory. And Clara Ossie will be playing a few songs for our opening song, gathering music. surprise you she did a song about a cat? Our call to fellowship this morning are words from Reverend Scott Taylor. We kindle this light to help us look upon the world anew. May it help us remember that reverent eyes lead to revelation. In the glow of this hour, may attention be our prayer, the vehicle through which we love this world and enable it to love us back. Come, awaken your senses to this moment where we practice the revolutionary act of noticing, the breath that sustains us, the beauty hiding in ordinary hours, the small things that keep hope alive. Come, let us train our attention on that which leads us home. Let us gather in fellowship. And for our chalice lighting, those at home can light their candle as we light our chalice in Fellowship Hall, saying these words by Dag Hammarskjöld. Each morning, we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and give back. Our singing together will be Wake Now My Senses, and Madison will help us in singing this song.
Please rise and body your spirit, join me in singing.
This month, we are talking about paying attention. And today, we are specifically talking about the art of noticing. We have a video with a song that introduces us to how the art of noticing brings us joy. What a wonderful world.
I see skies blue, clouds white, bright blessed days and the dark secret night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Oh, yeah.
How can you not feel joy when you watch that and you hear that? Well, I've been reading a book about the art of noticing. Did you know that noticing is a spiritual practice? This book has a number of exercises that help people develop their skill at noticing. And one of those exercises is a scavenger hunt. Have you ever noticed the deer through the windows wandering the hillside outside Fellowship Hall? A few weeks ago, Reverend Kelly and I were looking outside a window upstairs, and she spotted 3 deer. One was very obvious as it was moving, and 2 were more elusive, between trees and also lying on the ground, camouflaged with their coloring. Can somebody tell me what camouflaged means?
To blend in.
To blend in. How do you blend in, Clara?
Like you wear things that match where you are.
Okay, that's a good thing to know this morning. Who's been on a scavenger hunt before? There's some people who haven't. Oh, this is your lucky day. Or have you read a Where's Waldo book? Or worked a Hidden Pictures puzzle? Okay, your mission this morning, if you choose to accept it, is to quietly find the elusive U's. They are hidden right here in Fellowship Hall. Some are obvious, and others may be more difficult to find because they may be camouflaged. Try finding them by sitting silently in your seat and using your eyes. And they could be anywhere in this room. When you find one, count it on your fingers and try to remember where each one is. I think that I might have hidden about 50 of them, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to find them all at the end. Okay, don't tell anyone else when you find one, and try not to make it obvious by pointing and squealing. Children and adults can participate, and towards the end of the service, I will give permission for the children only to walk quietly around the fellowship hall and point out the ones they've found. Good luck, everyone. Each month, this fellowship selects an organization to support with our weekly offering. This month, we are supporting the Interfaith Alliance of Iowa. Half the non-pledge offering will be donated to the Interfaith Alliance of Iowa. This alliance empowers Iowans to be engaged and effective on progressive issues that matter in our communities and state. This multi-faith and no-faith organization represents the voices of progressive people in media, advocating for policy, and building relationships of collaboration. The other half of our offering will support programs here in our fellowship that make this a place of community, spiritual growth, love, and justice. We'll pass the basket here in Fellowship Hall, but alternately for those at home, or here with a cell phone, you can go to uufames.org/give and make your contribution today. And if you're visiting today, please know your presence is gift enough. And as we pass the baskets here in Fellowship Hall, Clara Ossie will perform a song many of us know, Blue Boat Home. Clara, thank you for taking on that challenge. At times, life can seem overwhelming, with news each day of hurt in our world and hurt to our democracy. We are aware this week of continuation of the violence in Iran and the Middle East, the ongoing war in Ukraine, the continuing harassment and detention of immigrants in our own country, the lack of human compassion and decency of our own elected officials, and the resilience of our citizens to continue to persevere over personal hardships. We have the elation of joyful events, births, anniversaries, celebrations, and also the depths of despair as we navigate our lives in this time. As a community of love, it is essential that we support and care for each other in community in times of sorrow and in times of joy. Let us take a moment to light a candle of remembrance and uplift the names and situations that are weighing in our hearts during this moment.
Victims of sexual abuse. People of Ukraine.
Debbie. All victims of violence.
It is a day of noticing each other, not just those who you know and feel joy to be around again, which is important, but also noticing who seems alone, who is missing today, who is excited, who is new, and who needs to feel welcomed.
We'll sing We Are Here Together. I'll lead this in a kind of two echo type thing like we've done in the past. I'll start with y'all. You'll be the echo. So here we go. We are here. We are here with our neighbor. With our neighbors. Our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through. We are here with our courage, our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through. We are here with our singing, and our love for each other will carry us through. Yes, our love for each other will carry us through. Thank you.
We've been reflecting on paying attention this month and noted how sometimes we have so many distractions and worries, we fail to slow down or use discernment in where we pay attention to. Our phones seem to be an appendage to our bodies these days. How do you feel when your phone is not with you? Our news feeds, social media, video games, March Madness, go Cyclones, Netflix binging, traffics, the next celebrity or political calamity, all these things draw us away from being in the here and now, from breathing, from silence. How much silence, outside of sleep, if you're lucky enough to get some, do you actually have during the week? In recent years, the secular world has been talking more and more about mindfulness, not necessarily as a spiritual practice through mindfulness, though it has deep roots in Buddhism, Hindu, Jain, Sikh, and Asian contemplative lineages, but also as a wellness practice. Mindfulness is taught in the workplaces and schools and sports programs and the military. Large corporations like Google use mindfulness programs to help employees stay focused and less stressed, to be more productive. Hospitals and clinics use it to help manage pain, improve mental health, and improve sleep. There are different types of mindfulness. Some modern practitioners emphasize paying close attention to what is happening now. Others emphasize emotional management and staying calm when things are stressful. Breathe. Other cohorts emphasize self-compassion, meaning being kind to yourself when you make mistakes. Still others emphasize moral awareness, helping people make wiser, more ethical choices. The art of noticing is one such mindfulness practice. Now, I admit I'm as distracted as the rest of the world, though I like to think I'm above that. However, I do like to distract myself by noticing weird things and to notice what I am noticing. For example, when I worked on the ISU campus and had to walk to a meeting on a cold winter day, I had a practice of noticing who wears gloves in the winter. I'd look at people as I passed, saying in my head, or sometimes out loud, pockets, 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 gloves, pockets, gloves, pockets, pockets, pockets. Turns out in my observations, most people on campus use pockets instead of wearing gloves to keep their hands warm. This was a form of entertainment in a bitter winter weather instead of just trying to hurry back to the warmth of being indoors. Not always so much fun for my companions, though. In winter months, I also like to notice the beauty of the branches of bare trees and look for drays. Drays are the large clusters of leaves bunched in the intersections of branches that are squirrel nests, and inside those, the little squirrels are growing and developing. Again, an obsession. I can't help it. Once I start looking for them, I do not stop. Does anybody know or look for sycamore trees with their white bark? Anybody? Can you name some places in Ames where are there sycamore trees? The trails? University in Lincoln Way, there's an amazing one. And once you start looking for one or you see that one, do you look for others around Ames? A mentor of mine in my young adulthood, many years ago, taught me to listen for specific bird calls on early morning bird watching expeditions. I learned to lift my forefinger to signal silently to my companions to listen for a specific bird call or bird sound. When traveling in Rhode Island with my husband a few years back, we could not help but notice how many Dunkin' Donut stores there were. OMG. There were sometimes two within the same block. And there might have been one here in Ames, I don't know. But we were aghast. They were everywhere. And of course, we noticed the fields of daffodils along the sides of the roads. And the ocean. Oh, the power of the ocean. But we could not stop looking for Dunkin' Donuts. Has anybody here looked for state license plates when traveling? Does anybody still do that? Have you ever tried looking for all the counties in Iowa? And now that I think of it, I became obsessed in noticing Taco Time stores when traveling in the state of Washington. At the time, my son was working at the now closed Taco Time here in Ames, and that's a rare find in Iowa. And yes, we did notice Mount Rainier, forests, and the ocean while navigating unfamiliar roadways, watching out for signs, but we also kept sending pictures of each Taco Time store we found back to him. And well, now you know how shallow I can be in this mindfulness business. I noticed that noticing brings me joy. I decided to read up a bit more on the art of noticing and found a book by Rob Walker, The Art of Noticing, 131 Ways to Spark Creativity, Find Inspiration, and Discover Joy. Mr. Walker is a journalist and writer and is on faculty of the Products of Design MFA program at the School of Visual Arts. And he's worked with students in helping them develop their sense of creativity through noticing. His book contains 131 ideas that can spark creativity and encourage noticing using all of our senses. Many of us think of sight in noticing, yet we can notice with our ears, with a sense of touch, with a sense of smell, and with a sense of feel beneath our feet. I will not go into all 131 ideas, but will leave you with a few. He says his book is an escape from the cult of productivity and efficiency. An escape from the cult of productivity and efficiency. Huzzah! It's a book not easily read through from cover to cover. It's, for me, I found it most interesting reading it in spurts, skipping around various ideas, and then thinking about them, and sometimes trying some out. Many ideas involve changing perspective, and here's just a few examples. Number one, a scavenger hunt. That's what we're trying today. Walker talks about a trip to San Francisco where he visited many times, and to inject novelty into the neighborhoods he'd seen before, he decided to look for security cameras, and he photographed them and found an amazing number of them. In fact, when he was on his way back in the airport, his wife said, "I hope you're not going to keep doing that here." But he suggests looking for other overlooked things, like weeds. Have you seen weeds growing up against, between the sidewalks or up against a building that don't seem to be like they should be there? But it's Mother Nature's way. Plaques. How many of us walk by plaques and never read them? What's the story behind those plaques? They're there for a reason. Hand-painted signs, flags, or broken things. And when you see broken things, imagine in your mind what you could do to improve them. Or taking a color walk. What colors are plentiful? Which ones draw you in? What colors did you not expect? A second technique is looking up. Ooh, what do you notice today? It's one of the first things I noticed in here. What a change from looking down. So you might be looking down, looking forward, reading your phone. But when you look up, it elevates your mood, your feelings. You may see chimneys, clouds, smoke rising, birds, leaves, branches, airplane tracks where earth meets sky, the weather coming in, various waves, roofs are built. Count them, drink them in. It can change your mood. Another technique is identify your sonic profile. Spend a day monitoring the sounds you make. Walking on various surfaces, typing, clearing dishes, shuffling papers, singing or humming, clearing your throat, talking, sniffing, opening a door, breathing. Experiment with making as little sound as possible and then making as much sound as possible. Stomping, slam the door. Note how this changes your concentration. And likewise, spend a period of time making an auditory inventory. Take 2.5 minutes. What do you hear in those minutes? What ambient sounds have you been tuning out? What do you hear? Do you hear silence? Try this in different environments. Okay, the last one I have is maybe kind of woo-woo for many of you, but bear with me. Some religious traditions imbue divinity in all people, in all things, giving reverence to everything. So try out this exercise. View the objects around you as each of them has a God spirit within it. What is the God spirit like in your shoes? What kind of God spirit resides in your laptop? In the grass? What about the pan on your stove? The doorknob of your home? Do these objects become more sacred to you when you think in those terms? So those exercises were just a few in Walker's books. And then I'd like you to reflect on what techniques help you in paying attention and noticing. I'm going to close with this reading by Morgan Day Cecil. Just be here with me. Signed, the moon, the stars, your still hot cup of coffee, your daughter, your son, your spouse, your heart, the green grass, the wild flowers, the waters you long to swim in, the color yellow, the color blue, your favorite poem, the mountain air, your dad, your mom, the rain, the ice cream cone, butter sizzling with garlic in the frying pan, the grocery clerk with sad, kind eyes, postcards waiting to be sent, the city squirrel, the country squirrel, Jupiter, the photo album, your grandmother's rosary, your favorite song, ink on paper, your best friend, the money in your wallet, the fork in your hand, brushes and paint, downward-facing dog, the color turquoise, the almost invisible shade of pink, God, the skyline, the earth beneath your feet, a hammock, the shade of a giant tree, this moment, right here, now. Your bones, your belly laugh, your breath, your breath, your breath. We have some reflections on noticing from two other people, and the next person to speak is Jamie Gurganus, and talking about how she notices. Okay, don't tell me for sure, but just nod. Have you found some use? Okay. Have you found 50? Yep, it's way back here. We should practice this.
Since I was up here last. Sorry.
Put your hand up.
Okay, there we go, okay. Thank you. Okay, let me put her at Lisa. Good girl. All right, good morning, everyone. So I'm here to talk to you about how I pay attention and notice things as a person without sight. And some of you may not know my background, but I wasn't born blind. I lost my sight. I was a junior in nursing school when I began needing to have laser surgeries, followed by back-to-back, almost a year's worth of eye surgeries. And right after I turned 21, I had what would be my last eye surgery, and I told the doctor that if this one doesn't work, I'm done. I need to move on with my life, and so that's what I did. My parents, knowing that I was a very determined and stubbornly independent person, I still am, but they knew it would be best if I stayed in Pittsburgh instead of moving back home. So I stayed there where I had a huge network of supportive friends, and then I found we we were able to get me into a rehabilitation program where I spent 4 months living there and learning how to do everything without vision. And so one of the things we learned, well, first I'll tell you, blindness is like a spectrum. There's some people have low vision, some people can still see shapes and shadows and have some light perception. I don't have any vision anymore. I don't see anything. I have a tiny little bit of light perception, but it does me no good. It really, there's not much it can do for me. So we learned in rehabilitation how to use what our remaining senses to help us navigate the world. And one of the things, one of the myths that people think is that blind people have superhuman senses, like hearing, especially their hearing. But we really don't. That when you lose one of your senses, the brain reorganizes itself. It's called neuroplasticity, and so it learns to adapt to other ways of taking in that information that came through that sense. So one of the primary senses that we use, especially I do, is hearing. So all of the sound awareness I take in helps me navigate the world. I do a lot of listening. We learn how to figure out what our environment is by what sound is around us, especially when walking outside. You learn how to follow the patterns of the traffic. I listen before I cross a street, and you find a cue car, and that's the car that you will use to, when the car takes off, you know that's when the light has changed. And so there's that type. When I'm in a building, I can tell where, how big a place is, if it's, you can sense where things are just by the sound. We use a lot of echolocation, kind of like how bats find things in the dark and things. So like the air pressure, if you hold your hand up, close your eyes and go like this, you can feel or kind of hear the air pressure changes. And that's how I know when I'm walking if I'm walking down the street and I'm walking by a building, all of a sudden you hear an air pressure change, you know that there might be an alley or so that you just start to learn these cues and you start to develop this map in your head so there's a lot of paying attention. Sound is also important. Like I can pick up on a lot of nonverbal communication just by listening. You don't have to see to know that somebody's anxious or somebody's angry or like I was able to tell when my kids were younger, like Alex is a very anxious kid and he would pace a lot, and he still does. And I would be able to I could hear him when he comes downstairs and he's wandering all around the house, and I'll just say, did you lose your water bottle again? And so then he knows. And my daughter, when she was younger, I could just picture her in front of me with her hands on her hips, rolling her eyes at me. So I just, she was very, she was. So that's part of the sound. Then we have touch. So touch is very important too. First of all, we learned how to read Braille, read and write Braille. And another way I use touch is I feel things to know when things are clean. Like I can feel the counters, and anybody who's ever seen me in the kitchen here knows that I will find things that haven't been cleaned because I feel them and stuff. And then it's also important what's under my feet. The tactile cues I get from what's out, like what's on the sidewalks or where the truncated domes are, so I know whether I'm at a street crossing. There's just a lot of things I take in through touch, not just through my hands, but through my feet too. And smell is also a very important one. If, for example, especially like in the mall, when you're walking in the mall, when I get to what my kids used to call the smelly shop, I would know what stores are near that place. So that was like a smell cue instead of a sound cue. And also when I'm looking for the shoe store, I know when I'm in the right place because I can, shoe stores just have a very distinct smell to them. Same with like walking into a beauty shop or something. You know you're in the right place from the smell. And like when I was walking on campus, I would always be walking down the street down on Osborne, and I know when I was getting close to the library because you can smell the library. The library has, if you pay attention next time, you'll know that the library has very distinctive smell, the smell of books. That's the smell. And then there's finally the spatial awareness. We use a lot, we develop a mental memory, a map in our mind of where we're going, different places. It's why I can walk around my house without needing to use a cane or a dog because I know where everything is in my house. And I'm like comfortable here in this kitchen because I am in it so much that I can buzz around without needing to use a Lee. And so, we use a lot of muscle memory. So like if I have a glass of water and I put it down, the next time I go to reach for it, I just know exactly where it is because your muscle memory just remembers those things. So there's a lot of sensory things that I use, and we use all of these sensory information together to make this mental map that helps us navigate the world a lot easier. So vision is only one way to perceive what your environment is, and it doesn't keep me from enjoying what's around me. I can still take in using my other senses, and being able to, because I saw before, I still look around as if I can see and enjoy what's around me. So, yeah. So thank you. Okay, come on, girl. Let's go.
Okay, I brought show and tell. Okay, first I'm going to share with you a poem I wrote for my Soul Matters group about things I noticed on a walk from 908 Kellogg to the 60 Forward Senior Center a couple weeks ago. Gargoyles squatting on middle step leading up to neighbor's screened porch. Cloudless azure blue mid-morning sky delighting my eyes. Distinctive fabric softener scent wafting from nearby laundromat. Arresting cooking oil and diesel fuel odors assaulting my nose. Quarter-sized, saffron-colored plastic trinket, beckoning to be added to my trash stash. Empty pink, blue, and purple-colored can of frou-frou alcoholic beverage loitering near curb. Clacking sound of high heels on asphalt preceding hello from face with genuine smile. Spent hand-warming packet on sidewalk near water fountain that has yet to undergo springtime reactivation. Blaring rap music and the N-word emanating from heavily tinted closed windows of black tank-sized GMC Denali Sierra pickup parked outside unassuming coffee shop. Honey brown sugar and cinnamon oat milk iced latte ready for pickup announcement. Curious puddle on sidewalk underneath severed maple branch, dripping steady stream of sweet liquid. I tasted it. Well-flattened can, here we go. Well-flattened can of black cherry-flavored Dr. Pepper with graphic commemorating a Ceratops dinosaur. Blackened penny facing heads up on sidewalk. Stubborn mounds of dirty snow, slowly relinquishing territories they have occupied on perimeters of parking lots. When I walk, sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and feelings can stir immediate joy. Sensory connections spark creativity in me and inspire my way of being in the world. I chose 4 of the 26,000 photos on my phone to illustrate my ways of noticing. Photo number 1, okay. I spotted this ghost plant at a rest stop off Minnesota 61, just south of the Canadian border. What is this? The clusters of delicate 5-inch tall stems with drooping elongated cup-like flowers were completely white. I wondered how this plant evolved and also how it could grow and thrive without chlorophyll. I know someone here could tell me about that. I looked down and to the right at the exact moment I passed this plant on the rest stop trail. What a surprising, wondrous, wonder-filled experience. I will never forget it. Next. Check out this 12 by 8-inch oval-shaped hole in a tree trunk. The bark around the hole is light gray, and the inside of the hole is partly black and light gray with some rust-colored chunks of wood. This photo illustrates an art concept known as positive and negative space. The black part of the hole is negative space. The chunks of wood in the hole and the tree trunk surrounding it are positive space. Artists use the contrast of positive and negative space to record what they see. This contrast of dark against light always captures my attention. Next. Here are 2 bright yellow daffodils lying on a sidewalk at the place where a stone wall is at right angles to a blue painted door. The contrast between the permanence of stone and wood against the fleetingness of the abandoned flowers caught my eye. I was walking in a town somewhere in Worcestershire, England, with my family when I noticed this. I suggested that they carry on walking while I stopped to take this photo. Noticing poignant juxtapositions of old and new, pristine and sullied, ordered and disarrayed, I lost my place for a minute, always is a touch point for me. Okay, this next slide is the wrong slide. I meant to have a slide of looking up through a canopy of maple leaves. So we'll leave this up here, but what I'm talking about will be slightly different. Oh, how I love looking up through leaves to sky when walking at Carr Woods. Irregular shaped patches of pale blue peek through multiple layers of translucent and shadowed maple leaves. I believe they are the same color, but in the light, I notice many different shades of green. I feel the familiar elation of looking up through the forest canopy. I note the complexity and depth of trees on the forest path. Noticing is about turning into the senses. It is about being present and connecting. It happens when we are open. When we pause and scan our senses, we may notice a saffron-colored plastic trinket or a smashed can, or a ghost plant, or the negative space of a hole in a tree trunk. We may wonder who left the daffodils behind on the sidewalk. We can marvel at the overlapping layers as we look up through the canopy of leaves in the forest. We experience the extraordinariness of ordinary things. Stuff here. Okay.
Wow, those 2 could write the book. We're going to sing together a song called Heart Opening Song, and Madison's going to lead us in this new song.
This is one of the many new songs from the digital songbook Sing Out Love. So before I ask you to sing it and ask you to stand, I'm going to do a little call and response to help you learn it. So there are 4 main parts. Technically, we can simplify it down to 3, and if you want to get technical, it's kind of just 2 and repeats. But I'll sing a part, and you sing it back to me, okay? My heart is open, open wide. Repeat it. My heart is open. section, but the ending's a little different, so listen. Open wide to the songs of the earth. So it's just that last note that's different. Open wide to the songs of the earth. All right, you know the whole thing. There are 3 verses. Let's sing it together. Oh yes, please, rise and body and spirit, and join me in singing. My heart is open wide to the songs of the earth. My heart is open wide to the songs of the earth. My heart is open wide to the songs of you. My heart is open wide to the songs of you. My heart is open wide to the songs of my soul. My heart is open wide to the songs of my soul. Thank you. Please be seated.
Let us extinguish all our chalices here and those with our friends online by saying together, we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. It takes many to create a service, and we extend many thanks to the musician Clara Ossie for providing special music today, Peggy Earnshaw, our accompanist, Madison Mayfield, our fellowship music coordinator, Bradley Dunkston for preparing our order of service and slides, our tech team, Klaus and Melissa, Amanda McIntosh, our membership coordinator, our hospitality team who staffed the welcome table, brought treats, served as greeters, served as ushers, and helped in the kitchen preparing beverages and the treat table. Thank you to our cleanup crew for staying afterwards to wash dishes and put the kitchen back in order. If you don't know, Will and Isaac, they're often out there, and it means that many of us can enjoy the food together. Being a fellowship means we all participate in serving in this hospitality ministry, and our current crews could sure use some respite and assistance. So it's a great way to make connections and become part of the fellowship. Thank you to Susan and Jamie for participating in the service, and and also to Karen for helping along. I'll close with the following words from Reverend Scott Taylor. Who we listen to is who we become. Let us turn inward in the spirit of prayer and meditation. Sometimes the world outside us can be so loud, making it hard to hear those voices we once knew so well, voices that once knew us so well. And so, to silence, we turn, listen for the echoes of memories that make us whole, pain of others that reawakens our hearts, and the beauty of this wildly generous world that wants us back. This is the attention that saves us, heals us, opens us, expands us. So friends, in the stillness of this space, let us not just listen for clarity and guidance, but to become larger. Those voices whispering from deep within are not just calling us home. They are home. We must remember this. What we give our attention to is what we become. Yes, sometimes the world outside us can be so loud, leaving us lost, but the quiet always remains, waiting and willing to be our companion, gently calling us to shift our attention and reclaim ourselves. Our sending music is again, What a Wonderful World, this time from Louis Armstrong. Go in peace and have a wonderful week, noticing the world around you and reclaiming yourselves. And if you want to walk around while the music's playing and point out the elusive views during the song, please go ahead. There are some invisible ones, and when you leave the fellowship hall, there's a really invisible one that you should be seeing before you get actually into the fellowship hall, especially if you recycle your papers. Hint, hint. Whoops. Something happened.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I never knew. And I think to myself, what a wonderful